Warning: sensitive content.
Master said that Master would give people 6 months to turn vegan and to repent so that Master could bring them to heaven. Why only 6 months, Master?
Only 6 months? Originally, it was only 1 month. And I bargained with heaven. Then I got 6 months.
Oh.
Within 6 months, if they truly repent, whatever misdeeds they have done, and won't do them again, and turn vegan, then I have an excuse to take them to heaven. Within 6 months. That's my last offer.
So why not longer than 6 months, Master?
Because the karma of the world is so heavy. I told you it's shaken heaven and earth. And the human race has been given many, many warnings, many, many leniencies, and much repeated forgiveness. And they don't change. The humans don't change. Heaven cannot accept this type of behavior. A cruel and uncompassionate way. No love, no kindness. Killing anything just to fill their stomach. Or just go killing anything, anybody, just to steal their land, their food, their property, or their country, whatever. That was the last call. Concerning the trip of Pelosi, this is truly the wrong time, the wrong decision, and provocative. It's all just fame grabbing and recognition seeking. So if anything happens to Taiwan because of her trip, she would never get out of hell, no matter who she is.
Oh.
And blood will be all over her body from head to toe, not just on her hands.
Please continue watching to find out more.
This clip will be aired with more subtitles later today. On Tuesday, August 2nd, 2022, our most compassionate Supreme Master Ching Hai called Supreme Master Television team members and caringly addressed the situation of Taiwan, or Formosa, and the potential escalation of international tensions. As Master shared her insights on the visit of the U.S. House Speaker to Taipei, she also graciously answered questions regarding her previous phone call, where she stated the time limit given by heavens for humans to turn vegan and repent sincerely.
Hello, Master.
Hello, Master.
Hello. I hope nothing will be bad, but you guys, when you meditate, you gotta pray for Taiwan, okay?
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
Pray so that we have peace in Taiwan.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
Because according to the internet, Taiwan forbids all the soldiers to go on holiday or go anywhere because they're ready now for war.
Yes,
Master.
Yes, Master.
And America also has some military preparation near Taiwan.
Yes, Master.
And China also preparing live training, live practicing already at their border nearest to Taiwan.
Yes,
Yes, Master.
China is preparing to carry out a series of live-fire military drills just miles off the coast of Taiwan. They're essentially a blockade, according to Taiwan defense officials. It's seen as a retaliatory move, as promised, for the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's trip to the island. According to the New York Times, Chinese state media reports the drills are set to begin tomorrow. As you can see on this map, the military zones surround Taiwan, and some cross into the island's territorial waters. Look at that. Taiwan's defense ministry reports if Beijing follows through with the exercises, it would be a direct challenge to Taiwan's sovereignty.
Those who offend China will be punished, they warned, as they vowed to launch live-fire military exercises in the waters encircling Taiwan starting tonight.
Tomorrow, China will start live fire exercises all around Taiwan, some as close as 10 miles from the shore.
So two big powers and Taiwan, a small power, all prepare for war. All because Pelosi wants to go to Taiwan. All this is just ego, wanted recognition.
Yes.
It's very difficult to say whether or not Taiwan will win against Big China. So right now, because China has warned Taiwan very loudly already, if Pelosi goes to Taiwan, they will attack Taiwan too.
Yes, Master.
They make a good excuse for China. Maybe China doesn't really want to attack Taiwan. Not like that. Because it's been more than 100 years already, many decades, and they did not do anything.
Yes, Master.
And now they even want to. The Pelosi still insists to go.
Master, is it necessary for Pelosi to go to Taiwan?
Even Biden told her not to.
Oh.
Yeah. The COVID did him good.
Oh.
He reinfected again anyway.
Yes, Master.
Even Biden says at the moment it's not too good. I can see why, because even if America wants to help, they're far away.
Yes.
Yes.
It's not that convenient. It takes some time.
Yes.
Meanwhile, if China really hit Taiwan, America cannot come that quick.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
And also they are already divided between Ukraine and many other countries.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
But ego always makes trouble. You can see that.
Yes. Yes.
I see they have a very big ego. I checked it out. So all this is big talk because Taiwan has been okay all these decades already, no matter what. Peaceful people are okay. And the country is rich enough to take care of everyone. And they have a lot of reserves of money.
Yes,
Master.
So it should be okay. Why should they have to compete with China? No matter if America helps quick enough, Taiwanese people will still suffer.
Yes, Master.
Normal Taiwanese people and young soldiers of Taiwan will suffer first.
Yes.
And of course, China also. The soldiers also will suffer. And then the economy and everything will go down. Even if finally maybe Taiwan wins, so what? China can hit again in another decade.
Right. Yes.
Or whenever they have an excuse. Now they make a good excuse for them. Even if China doesn't want to hit. But if they lose face, they would want to.
Yes, Master.
But the Chinese keep suppressing Taiwan, so they push Taiwan into the arm of America. But America right now has a lot of problems already. Inflation and all kinds of stuff hit by pandemic already. And now COVID and monkeypox and all kinds of poxes. If they want to help Taiwan, it's only half of their strength.
Yes.
They have already a big problem. They have a recession coming. It has maybe already come. It's just that nobody wants to admit it. The government doesn't want to admit it. But of course, tens of thousands of people out of jobs, and more are out of jobs now because of the pandemic. So how can they be stable in the economy and everything?
That's right.
And they also have to help give billions and billions to Ukraine. And other countries also have some American soldiers stationed there.
Yes. Right.
It's just like a normal position everywhere, just to keep invaders out of this and that continent.
Yes. Master.
So they don't just have Taiwan. But Pelosi insists to go. If no miracle happens, then I don't see any way out.
Wow.
She's already going tonight, supposed to.
Oh.
It's already reported like that. He insisted. And so America has to prepare ready for war. And the Chinese have already been drilling ever since Pelosi announced that she might go to Taiwan. And they confirmed already that she's going tonight. They confirmed some days ago already that she's going, but she doesn't mention it, even though they confirm. The Senate confirmed, or the government confirmed, and Taiwan confirmed. They're all proud of it. Oh, man. So you guys, when you meditate, when you have time, you have to pray.
Yes, Master.
God, that's all I wanted to tell you.
Yes, Master.
Two big powers bending to war now, and Taiwan is also already all prepared for war. They prepared for long months already, but now it's more serious because Pelosi is going. China threatened to shoot her plane down because she will go with military airplanes to accompany her, fighter jets.
The pictures you just saw are believed to be from Fujian. This is a Chinese province. It is the closest Chinese province to Taiwan. And it is teeming with weapons, military vehicles and troops. Look at these pictures now. These are Chinese troops moving across a beach with tanks. What is the Chinese military doing? They've prepared a range of options and they're working on all of them, it seems. The PLA is ratcheting up military activity around Taiwan. It made the first move with fighter jets. This morning, China dispatched several warplanes. They flew towards the Taiwan Strait. In response, Taipei dispatched its own planes. The Chinese jets returned, but they left behind a message. They demonstrated how quickly Chinese planes can reach Taiwan. And that's not all. The PLA's southern theater is on high alert. Military units there are on standby. Taiwan is preparing to counter another Chinese attack. It has built air raid shelters. Taiwanese citizens are being trained to dodge missiles. Officials are reviewing existing infrastructure, basement car parkings, underground shopping centers, and parts of the subway system can be used as shelters too. Officials in Taipei are comparing their situation to the war in Ukraine.
When you look at the war in Ukraine, when the Russians strike, in the beginning they would hit military targets, but it's hard to imagine that they would not hurt the innocent public. Normal buildings, organizations or schools could get hit by strikes too. In the same vein, Taiwan could face the same situation.
It doesn't matter who wins, who loses. Taiwanese people will suffer first. And all these handsome, young, poor, innocent boys have to die first.
Yes.
And of course, the Chinese soldiers also will die. And the leaders don't care. They always already have bunkers or anything ready for them. Underground tunnels to get out. And if in desperate case, their Air Force One and their Air Force Two are already ready anytime for them to go. But the Taiwanese people will be stuck. And after the war, they will be hunted to see who before supported which president or being from what kind of party.
Yes, Master.
And all the soldiers and all the people will be interrogated or torture, murder, who knows.
Yes, Master.
The whole of Taiwan will not be just like that. Not after winning the war, China will just let them be. It's not like that.
Yes, Master.
That's right.
The spy game will be going on. They will go door to door checking people.
Yes, Master.
Okay, now, the Taiwanese people, they cannot just go anywhere so easily. Before, they could not even go anywhere. After I came to Taiwan for a while, a long time ago, then they could go to USA under a 5-year visa.
Yes.
Come in and out anytime. And they could even go to Europe for 6 months. Even Americans cannot. Americans can go only 3 months.
Yes, Master.
And it's all peaceful and good like that. They don't understand the consequences. Oh, maybe they don't care. Because leaders can always jump to go anywhere, anytime. They have airplanes reserved for them. They have an army to protect them.
Yes.
But the normal citizens don't have such luck. They don't have such luxury.
Yes.
Right.
Even if they have money and can just go, but they can have a visa only for 3 months or 6 months.
Yes.
And in such a rush, how many people can get a visa so quickly to go?
Right. Yes, Master.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. I just hope miracles do happen. Taiwan has been peaceful for a long time. Maybe it's not as good as other countries, but they're okay. They have enough money and gold reserves, and everyone is okay.
Yes, Master.
Yes.
Taiwan is rich enough for the whole country, and everything's okay. And Taiwan has everything. There's no need to even ask for an official name. I'm for whatever. It's all peaceful and not harming the lives of the Taiwanese people and their nation. In this world, everything is mostly just temporary and illusional. Anyway, as long as people live in peace and can take care of themselves without any harm, any shortage, any need of any kind, then that nation is very blessed already. And Taiwan is respected and loved in many, many countries in the world. When I travel everywhere, I heard that. And sometimes you can see it on the news, that Taiwan has very friendly vegan cities. Taiwan was very good at fighting the pandemic before, for example.
That's right.
That's right.
Taiwan has a good foreign reserve, and Taiwan has a good living standard, and Taiwan has a very high level of freedom, high level of democracy. All this is very important, and Taiwan having peace is very important. Who cares if people say your country is officially recognized or not? Many countries are officially recognized, but are not in peace. And they have a lot of trouble, a lot of economic problems, life standard problems, war, and all kinds of other disasters like famine, all kinds of things. Taiwan is very, very blessed already.
Right.
So there is no need for anyone to just barge in just to be more famous and get more applause in all of this empty fame and gain. That's what I think. I think Taiwan has been having very good blessings from heaven. And the Taiwanese people enjoy many benefits. And the government takes care of all the poor. That's what I know. And there's no suppression of religious freedom of any kind. You can believe anything you want. Well, of course, as long as it doesn't harm the public.
Yes.
But there's nothing like that happening in Taiwan. There are no people who are worshipping Satan openly like in some other countries I know. People just choose wisely. So that should be very good. We should be contented with what we have and not always asking for more and more and more. Things will be given to us according to our deserving worth in time. I think Taiwan is one of the most lucky, happy countries in the world already. So I don't think anyone should jump in and cause trouble for these peace-loving and kind people of Taiwan. Nobody should encourage it of any kind. Nobody should directly be making trouble, disrupting peace in Taiwan, or anything for their own lowly agenda, or maybe evil intention.
Yes, Master.
That's what I think. And in a free world, I think what I want to think. So Taiwan earns respect everywhere and is welcome everywhere. And we should be happy with that. Yeah?
Right. Yes, Master.
Every country has some problems of a different nature.
Yes.
And Taiwan might think that China is giving the nation problems. But every other country has also problems, even more than that, or maybe less, or just a different nature.
Yes.
There's no country in the world that has no problem, absolutely.
Right. That's right.
And for such a small nation, it is very, very blessed already, the way it is right now.
Yes.
So it's better just to keep the peace with all the neighbors as much as possible. Peace is very important for all the citizens. Because without peace, they cannot live. They cannot prosper. They cannot improve anything.
Yes.
And if war comes, then most things will be destroyed. Many people will die. Citizens will flee the country. So what good is that for anyone anyway, for the winner or the loser?
Right.
Master, will Taiwan be invaded by China?
If China has a more strong-handed treatment with Taiwan or even invade Taiwan for any reason, then they would just have a bad name, like a bully brother or bloodthirsty invasion monger. What good is that in the world and the history of humankind?
Yes, Master.
Besides, they believe in Buddhism, and they know if they make war, kill people, hell is waiting for them. So I think they will not want to make any war. I don't think China would want to make more hardship for Taiwan. Should not, in my opinion. And heaven also prefers that way. It's good for China if China makes peace with everyone around and shows the generous, kind-hearted, and peace-loving nature of the Chinese people. Chinese people love peace, and all Taiwanese people also love peace. Every citizen in the world loves peace.
Yes.
So any leader who wants to lead long or be supported by their own citizens should love peace, show peace, and do any kind of possible things to keep peace for their own sake and their own citizens' wellness.
Master, why does Taiwan or Formosa lean towards the U.S.?
It is fair to say that Taiwan was pushed toward the West, toward America by China. Because, let's face it, they don't seem to have any official allies. And there are not even official embassies in Taiwan from any country.
Yeah.
They just have a representative of this and that country. And often they are threatened by China, use China, for anything that they do. They just want to prove that they are grown up and they want to be independent, want to be like every other country, just like that. And they're threatened all the time. The Taiwanese are threatened all the time. It's like they cannot move. They feel suffocated, lonely, and scared, frightened. So, of course, if anyone seems to have the power to protect them or to be their friend willingly, they'll be glad to lean on that friend.
Yes.
It's human nature. I could cry again thinking about this situation of Taiwan. If China, big China, switched its position, if China was Taiwan, what would China do?
Yes, Master.
Understand.
You just have to think of the opposite party, and then you know how they feel, and then you know how to react.
Understand, Master.
If China was protective towards Taiwan and not oppressive, by helping them to stand up within the world, with dignity, with security, safety, peace, then they would never need to go with America or anyone. Don't you think?
That's right, Master. If they were strong and they had support from their big brother or big sister, China, then they wouldn't need help from everyone, but they would be a part of the world with China.
Yeah, with China as a friend, as a brother.
Yeah.
Nowadays, many countries that used to belong to such and such colony or confederation or commonwealth, they are going out.
Yes.
And the old colonizer just let them go out. I don't remember all of them, but recently Iceland used to belong to Denmark, and they let them be independent.
Yes.
No big deal. And nowadays, several countries that used to belong to the Commonwealth of England expressed their desire to be independent. And Prince William and Princess Kate also seemed to support them.
Yes.
And they brought the message back. And then Prince Charles also doesn't seem to oppose that.
Yes, Master.
And India, for example, used to be under colonization and also became independent. Yeah, no hard feelings, nothing.
Yes.
It used to be under the colonial rule by the British. And they wanted independence, and so they got it.
Yes.
And they did not even fight too much. They did not use any weapons under Mahatma Gandhi.
Yes, Master.
Also, for example, Singapore used to be with Malaysia. Later, they just got themselves separated. And both are still friends.
Yes.
There's no problem. They come in and out with each other, through the border. No big deal, nothing. No threatening, no frightening, no scary admonition, nothing.
Yes.
This is the way of the gentleman.
Yes, Master.
That will gain respect from all over the world.
Yes.
Like Singapore became strong and healthy, better than when together. And Malaysia is also the same.
Yes.
They also have respect from all over the world. No hard feelings, nothing.
They both benefit.
Yeah, both benefit. Sometimes a family member, if they're grown up, they want to be different. Then, as long as they harm nobody, then why not, eh?
Yes.
That's what I think.
For example, if Hong Kong was able to be independent from China, that would also have been beneficial for both. But because China took over Hong Kong now, it's not as good for Hong Kong. So if China tries to do this with Taiwan, it's not good as well.
Yeah, the world gets darker.
Yes.
It feels that way, darker and dimmer, Not so so happily,
Yes.
not prosperous, and not simple and peaceful,
Yes.
not easy-go-lucky.
Yes,
Master.
Anyway, we are not politicians, but we are free to express our opinion. And if anybody can hear it, it's good.
Yes.
We do no harm. I just express my free opinion.
Yes.
I have nothing against China, and I have nothing against Taiwan.
Yes.
Nothing in my heart. I just want both to have peace with each other and help or grow alongside each other to help the world to become a happier place, a more abundant, peaceful place for all to be in the world, for all to live. That's all I wish.
Yes.
War is never a win-win for anyone. Never.
No.
Oh, God. You know what it's like. Politicians.
Yes.
Yeah, vote for me. I'm going to beat the hell out of them and all that stuff. And because Xi Jinping is waiting for the third term for him to continue to be president.
Yes, Master.
So he feels that he cannot show weakness. That's why they make a big deal of Pelosi coming or anyone coming from America.
Yes,
Master.
And why does Pelosi have to go now?
Yes.
Don't we have enough problems with Ukraine
Yeah.
or Afghanistan or Yemen or Iraq and Iran?
Yes.
Iran's threatening with nuclear bomb already. They never threatened like that before. They say that it's against their religion to have nuclear weapons. And now they also threaten like that. And North Korea threatens also with nukes.
Yes.
And Ukraine is ongoing like that. Even the whole world helps Ukraine. Still the war doesn't stop.
Yes.
And we should have had enough like that. And Pelosi insists she has to go to Taiwan. She went around Asia anyway, Japan and all that. And then we'll stop by Taiwan. It's announced already she'll go tonight. I saw it Tuesday night. This is truly the wrong time, the wrong decision, and provocative. It's all just fame grabbing and recognition seeking. But if anything happens to even one of the Taiwanese because of her trip, if any harm comes to them, the blood is on her hands.
Yes.
It's just for her own fame-seeking desire, ambition, nothing more. But the price is almost 24 million people in Taiwan. And many young Chinese people or commanders, etc., will be involved, will be harmed if the war breaks out.
Yes.
And it's not only that, the whole West will respond on such a scale that it will become like World War III.
Yes.
So the whole world is at risk with one trip of hers to Taiwan at the wrong time. The situation in the world is already very tense.
Yes.
And the war in Ukraine, I told you already, even the whole world supports Ukraine. The war is still dragging on, and Ukrainian people are still dying and suffering.
Right. Yes, Master.
Millions of people go out of the country to avoid the tragedy for their children, their elderly and women, and they became beggars.
Yes.
It's not like they are always immediately accepted by all the countries in the world. And they suffer a lot, immensely from all kinds of pain being refugees.
That's right.
But at least the Ukrainians can go because the Ukrainian passport is recognized everywhere. And Ukraine has many neighbors in Europe, so they can just stream into other neighbors easily, no matter what.
Yes.
But Taiwan is a small island. Where would the people go? Where would they go so quickly? Not everybody has money to afford to go abroad.
Yes.
And not all in a massive exodus like that. And they will not be accepted as a refugee so easily anywhere. I'm not sure about that. If their visa even allows them to stay anywhere long.
Yes.
And then if they're not accepted, what would they do? Return to Taiwan and face the penalty? Face the punishment from the Chinese Communist Party? They don't tolerate anyone who so-called betrays their ideals and policies.
Yes.
Up to now, still freedom, democracy, and the communist authoritarianism are still polar opposites.
Yes, Master.
So if the Taiwanese go abroad to avoid the war or during the war, then if they're not accepted anywhere, they come back, they will be in big trouble with controlling China. If China wins.
Yes, Master.
Even if Taiwan wins, there will be bloodshed. And the Taiwanese normal citizens will suffer too much.
Yes.
And then the infrastructure and farming disruptions and all kinds of destructive things that will happen in the war naturally. So if anything happens to Taiwan because of her trip, she will never get out of hell, no matter who she is. And blood will be all over her body from head to toe, not just on her hands. Because she will be safe in America. The war would not be in America. It's far away from her hometown, so she couldn't care less how many people, Chinese or Taiwanese, die.
Yes.
She just goes to Taiwan so that people think, oh, you're a big shot, tough woman and all that BS. For what anyway? For what? As I said already, it's the wrong time, wrong motive.
Yes.
And if anything happens to even one of the Chinese or Taiwanese people because of the war, hell is her only home, and blood is on her body.
Right.
Yes.
I just hope that the Chinese leaders and government really are smart enough and calm enough to look at this Pelosi's trip as just an ego trip.
Yes.
And because if somebody is representing the devils, then there's nothing else we can talk about. So they should take her ego trip with a pinch of salt instead of escalating it further and making her more like a very important big shot for nothing. Just a woman's ego inflation.
Yes, I understand.
When they are in a big power, of course, they will have their ego more inflated, and that's normal. And I hope the Chinese government continues to maintain a peaceful relationship with Taiwan, the world, and America, and not blaming everyone else for this evil woman's ego trip.
Yes, Master.
She just wants to be more famous, more recognized, that's all. And I hope the Chinese government doesn't fall for it.
Yes, Master.
There's no need to make a big deal out of it, to make her look even bigger. She's not the only one. She's not the first House Speaker that came to visit Taiwan.
That's right.
There was one before, Newt Gingrich. So what's the problem?
Yes.
She's just a very old woman, bored with her incriminated husband, bored with family life, and bored with the old audience.
Her timing is perfect. And can you think of a better way to distract from your husband's DUI hearing on Wednesday than to fly into an Asian hornet's nest and scramble the U.S. Navy?
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi wrapping up her very controversial visit to Taiwan, but her husband facing some legal troubles thousands of miles away. Paul Pelosi set to be arraigned this morning on DUI charges stemming from his car crash in May.
Just an hour before his arraignment, we are learning new details about Paul Pelosi's behavior the night of his DUI arrest and how he tried to curry favor with the arriving officers.
There were a series of injuries involved, serious ones. Both cars were totaled. There were drugs involved, not just alcohol. And Paul did hand cop something that wasn't his driver's license. And just today, on the eve of the hearing, the judge has been replaced in a blatantly corrupt move. Court documents now show Papa Paulie P was absolutely plastered. And that, quote, his eyes appeared red and watery, he was unsteady on his feet, his speech was slurred, and he had a strong odor of alcoholic beverage emanating from his breath. The report goes on to say that Pelosi was under the influence of an alcoholic beverage and a drug. And he failed several field sobriety tests, miserably. This report has shed some light onto the injuries of the victim as well. These injuries were much more severe than we were told. Originally, they said there were no injuries. And then it was, oh, no, these injuries aren't that serious. Well, the victim has reported the day after the collision, quote, pain to his upper right arm, right shoulder, and neck. It was also difficult to lift things with his right arm, and he was suffering from headaches and from fatigue, and is being treated by a physician. Remember, District Attorney Allison Haley, hey, Allie, her entire justification for charging Paulie with a misdemeanor instead of a felony is that the injuries, she said, were not serious. Now we know they are serious. When asked to hand over his driver's license, instead, Papa Paulie P fumbled around and then handed them a donor card specifically for the California Highway Patrol. In other words, implying, hey, guys, I'm a donor, and I can be an even bigger donor if we can, work this out. What also happened today, the night before the hearing, the presiding judge has mysteriously stepped down, and a new judge has been quickly installed. So, who's this new judge? You're not going to believe this. Her name is Monique Langhorne, and she's a registered Democrat whose previous job, are you ready? She used to work for the Napa County DA's office. Does Judge Langhorne have any experience in criminal cases? No. This would be her first. And it gets better. Guess who donated to this judge's campaign? The assistant DA who's going to be prosecuting the case tomorrow. Can you say rigged? Look, we get it. Paul's married to a California bigwig. He and Nancy are Golden State royalty. But they shouldn't get a free pass.
So she just seeks new uploads abroad. That's all there is.
Yes, Master.
The only thing you should react with is just contempt.
Yes.
Because she couldn't care less about how many people involved suffer or die just for her ego inflation.
That's right, Master.
So all the Chinese and government should react with this, just contempt. She's not worth their effort to make such a big deal.
Yes,
Master. Just treat her as unimportant.
Yeah, she's unimportant. She's old already. It's like a candle trying to flare up right before it's extinguished by itself. Or the juice is running out from her, that's why.
That's right.
That's right.
Dire warnings from China. U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi is currently in Taiwan. Now, her arrival prompted a furious response from China as her plane touched down on Tuesday. Over 20 Chinese military jets entered Taiwan's air defense zone. Within an hour of her landing, Beijing announced that its army would conduct a series of live-fire military drills in the air and at sea around Taiwan from Thursday to Sunday. It warned ships and aircraft not to enter the affected areas. Beijing also summoned the U.S. ambassador to condemn Pelosi's trip.
With Nancy Pelosi meeting with Taiwan's president and other high-ranking officials, many aspects of this trip is under scrutiny. One aspect is the legacy issue, with Nancy Pelosi expected to retire sometime next year as House Speaker. This trip may have a bookend value.
Pelosi was given a rock star welcome, with crowds chasing her entourage for a glimpse of the US Speaker as she arrived at her hotel in Taipei. Precisely the kind of open display of affection that will so anger Beijing. President Biden, the White House and the US military didn't think this was the right time. It was a bad idea for her to travel to Taiwan right now, given escalating tensions between China and the US and that warning from President Xi himself about her playing with fire.
Taiwan is in a very sensitive and difficult place. An area this small with 23 million people against a 1.4 billion is not sustainable.
In the New York Times today, columnist Thomas Friedman calls the visit to Taiwan utterly reckless. He writes, I quote, nothing good will come of it, and a Chinese military response could result in the U.S. Being thrown into indirect conflict with both a nuclear-armed China and a nuclear-armed Russia, this at a time when Europe's attention is focused on the war in Ukraine, and therefore it will not have the help of its allies in Europe, he says.
She just wants to live it up, be recognized, and go down in history as something.
Right.
Yes, to show that she still has power.
Yeah. And all that. It's just the dying candle, that's all. So I don't think the Chinese government will react more than just contempt.
I hope so, Master.
I hope so too, because the Chinese people are not unintelligent.
Right.
Yes, that's right.
Communists or not, the Chinese are intelligent people.
Yes, they are.
Just look at Taiwan. They are just a small country, but they're the 8th strongest democratic country in the world.
Oh, yes, that's right.
The 8th. How many countries can claim that? And they're doing well for their citizens as a whole.
Right.
Oh, yes.
So actually, the Taiwanese government should also calm down and just continue as usual as before. Why do they have to compete with China or give them excuses? Even if you can fight an enemy or the opposition, you don't have to always choose fighting.
That's right.
That's right.
There was one story in China before. The person's name was Han Xing. In our translated as Han Ting. When he was a nobody, he was provoked by the big burly person in the market who asked him to fight with him. He was smaller, okay?
Yes.
And that person, the provoker, was huge and strong and famous for bullying, and he knocked out everyone.
Yes.
So he challenged Han Tin to fight him. And if not, then he had to bow down and crawl under his 2 legs, spread legs.
Oh.
Yeah, and Han Tin just did that, and everybody laughed at him, okay? Ridicule him.
Yes.
But he knew at that time he could not win, so why bother?
Yes.
Why risk his life for that? Just for being applauded, you see?
Yes,
That's right.
But later he became a very famous leader in the war in China.
Yes.
Yeah, he became a winner, a victorious leader in war.
Yes.
He was a famous leader in the army. And sometimes people still told him when he was already famous, strong and victorious. People say, "Oh, is you the one who crawl under the open legs of so and so?" He just shrugged his shoulder. He couldn't care less. Yeah, you have to know when to do what, no?
Yes. Know when to pick your battles.
Yeah, it's timing is important. Also, yeah.
Yes, Master.
And what for do you even need some shallow fame in this world anyway? And then have blood on your hands for what?
Yes, Master.
And then go to hell and set your blood there by the devils, or go to an oil cauldron to burn yourself forever, or in a hellfire forever.
Yes, Master.
What's the word of that? It's not worth the salt. That's what I would say.
That's right.
Not worth of China or Taiwan salt. Nothing. Just a big ego woman who wants to have some more fame before she dies. That's it.
Yes, Master.
Yeah, too old and then too bored.
Yes.
Seeking a new audience. These people are drunk with power. If they stay in power too long, they become more drunk and insensible to anyone else except themselves.
Yes.
That's why they risk anything. They risk millions of lives or whatever damage just for their own sake.
Yes,
Master.
In many other civilized planets, they don't even have leaders. They just have an elderly council. They would come together sometimes, reporting things, what they do, whatever concerning their planet. What happened, what did they invent, or what else they need or don't need. It's just for fun, just to be together. But there's no leader.
Right.
Yes. Anyone who has virtues and a good enlightened level can come up to be a leader. In this world is hell. Taiwan, of course, is a good country, it's a good island, but also many people still eat meat, killing a lot every day. Pig and chicken people and all that, you can see that.
Yes.
But after, more disciples came, more chicken, more pig people, because they think, a lot of people, they can sell a lot more. So they make more pig, more chicken people there. Also because of the karma, because the Chinese people eat a lot of pig and chicken people everywhere. In Vietnam, we say the Vietnamese use chopsticks to pick food, but the Chinese use chopsticks to pick the rice. Meaning they eat more the accompanying food than rice. The Vietnamese eat more rice than the accompanying food.
Yes.
The Chinese eat a lot. You hardly see any fat Vietnamese, but you can see a lot of round Chinese. Maybe not fat, but round. Okay. So it's just that I tell you this. So you pray whenever, okay, huh?
Yes, Master.
And we have to see if we have any miracles coming.
Yes, Master.
But I'm not sure if it comes because of karma of the world. We have a lot of Taiwanese disciples, but not all 20-something million are disciples.
Yes, Master.
And even if they're Buddhists, they still eat eggs and fish and whatever they do. And the Taoists don't eat vegetarian or anything.
Yes.
Even though we have a lot, it's good, it's a good portion, but still not the majority.
Yes, Master.
So a lot of big karma every day. Before, when I lived somewhere in Xinjiang a long time ago, every day I went out, I saw the whole river was red. A big stream, not really a river, but it could be also called a rivulet. And it was all red all the time. Before I didn't know, and after they told me it was because they raised some pig people and killed them every day up there, and they washed it down the stream like that. After that, I was glad to be gone. Okay, any questions?
Master said that Master would give people 6 months to turn vegan and to repent so that Master could bring them to heaven. Why only 6 months, Master?
Only 6 months. Originally, it was only 1 month. And I bargained with heaven. Then I got 6 months. Within 6 months, if they truly repent, like from harming the animal or people because of killing them or eating them or hurting them in any way, or making war, harming people by war, and many other similar crimes.
Yes,
Master.
If they repent all that, whatever misdeeds they have done, and won't do them again and turn vegan, then I have an excuse to take them to heaven within 6 months. That's my last offer. Why 6 months from now? Because at the moment, there's no other solution available.
Oh. After 6 months, if they don't turn vegan and repent, Master, what will happen to the people?
What will happen? I was also asking that. They will have to try harder to be vegan and try harder to repent. And they have to fend for themselves. They have to do it themselves. No one will help them anymore after that.
Oh.
Even if they get initiation anywhere else, it's not the same.
Yes, Master.
And the people who were initiated by me, of course, they will go to heaven. Low heaven or high heaven accordingly. But of course, they also have to sincerely want it and also continue with veganism.
Yes, Master.
Otherwise, it also doesn't work.
Yes, understand.
It's not just because you initiate it, then it's guaranteed. It is guaranteed if you follow the instruction and work at it.
Yes, Master.
But it's very easy anyway, right? You guys do this every day, you know it.
Yes, Master.
Just like taking a rest even. And then you go further up to heaven. It's very simple. But initiation and knowing the instruction and continuing to work, meditating every day is good for you anyway.
Yes,
Master.
Even lower heaven or higher heaven is guaranteed. Unless that person comes in just for different purposes, not for wanting to go home.
Yes,
I understand.
People sometimes are not sincere. So even if you're initiated, but you're not sincere and don't continue to practice accordingly, then also you will be cast out of this salvation scheme.
Oh.
So that's what it is. But how many people believe in all this? I offer. I told it. It costs them nothing.
We thank you, Master.
You're welcome. Everyone's welcome. I'm just so sad. That's all. I don't know what else to say. I'm sad.
Yes, Master.
All around nowadays, it's all bad news everywhere.
Yes.
More than ever before. Everywhere. Naturally or unnaturally. It's all about destruction and death, suffering, sickness, sorrow, and pain everywhere.
Yes.
6 months is what heaven negotiated with me. Originally, I was only 1 month.
Understand, Master.
That's that, nah? C'est la vie. That's it. That's what it is.
Yes,
Master.
So why not longer than 6 months, Master?
Because the karma of the world is so heavy. I told you it's shaken heaven and earth. And the human race has been given many, many warnings, many, many leniencies, and much repeated forgiveness. And they don't change. The humans don't change. So whoever doesn't change has to go their way.
Yes, Master.
Not the heaven's way. Heaven cannot accept this type of behavior. A cruel and uncompassionate way. No love, no kindness. Killing anything just to fill their stomach. Or just go killing anything, anybody, just to steal their land, their food, their property, or their country, whatever.
Yes, I understand, Master.
Just because they have power, they have murdering machines. So if heaven continues to be lenient, then humans continue to be this barbarous way. That's why.
Yes, Master.
That was the last call. And I even have been bargaining with that to get that 6 months. Otherwise, they told me 1 month only. All right. So it's up to humans now. I've done my best.
Yes, Master.
Well, we're just wondering, after the 6 months, is the world going to accelerate to more destruction?
Yeah. It looks like so, no?
Yes.
There are disasters and murdering everywhere. Not just in the war. Between children and between parents to children, even everywhere. It's like a crazy war.
Yes, Master.
Sometimes anybody just goes wild and has like road rage and then just killing anyone, children, babies, anything. And even nowadays, animals also attack humans more often than before. Even monkeys in Japan or in India were snatching babies and killing them, and also killing or hurting adult humans for no reason. And even buffalo, cows, the whole herd chasing one man, for example, like that. But luckily he escaped. But this behavior is unusual. Normally cows don't attack humans.
That's right.
Yes.
So many things on the internet. I don't want to remember them all. You guys can look everywhere. There are sudden fires, sudden floods, sudden landslides, sudden ice melting, all kind of things. There are some ice melting in Europe that even changed the border between Italy and Switzerland.
Wow.
Yes, everywhere there is something. And there are droughts and floods everywhere. People are hungry, starving everywhere. I mean, in normal times, in different countries. And still have to make war, threaten to make war. Don't give people peace and normalcy to get on with their lives. The world is going bankrupt because of the pandemic already.
Yes.
The pandemic doesn't just infect people's health. It infects the economy and many other aspects of human life. And then on top of that, the harvest is lost.
Yes.
And famine, war, and many weird diseases coming up even.
Yes.
Okay, now you know. Heaven does not want to be lenient anymore. God doesn't want this type of human race anymore. Do you understand me?
Yes, Master, I understand.
Probably they will have to go to hell and be washed and cleansed and repaired or whatever forever until they really are done, until they really understand what it's like to suffer, to have endless pain like that. Well, if they ever will be reborn again this time, I'm not sure if they will even remember. They will be made to forget.
Yes.
And then they will do bad things again. If it's like a habit, it will be recycled with them, with each of their incarnations. I just hope everybody listens to heaven's mandate. Just turn vegan and make peace, that's all.
Yes.
To turn vegan is also like making peace. Making peace for yourself, for your conscience, and making peace for the animals, people. And stopping war. That is also making peace.
Yes.
Both are making peace. But for the sake of language clarity, we say be vegan, make peace, as if it's two separate things. But actually, they're only one thing. Making peace.
Yes.
Making peace with God by not killing His creation, by not making war and killing His children. The animal people are also God's children because He has made them, has made humans, and has also made animal people. Both are His creation, His children. So make peace with God, nah? No more killing of any of the beings that God has created. Make peace with animal people. Be vegan. Turn vegan. Make peace with humanity. No more war. These two peacemaking actions mean making peace with God anyway.
Yes.
Without making peace with God, we have nothing to cling to. We have nothing to protect ourselves. So we just have to go down to hell to see whether or not hell will be able to clean out all the trace of any sin, any unpeaceful action against God.
Yes.
So that's what will happen to the souls who don't turn around and repent and make peace with God by not creating war, by not killing or eating animal people. Is that clear?
Yes, very clear. Thank you, Master. Master, is there any other way at all to save the world?
That's what I hope for. But I was told there's a word called Punisher word, which heaven has assigned to make the judgment according to all this terrible, brutal karma of our world. And they want to destroy the whole planet, and immediately even. Yes, they can do that because that is their job. They have equipment, they have power, they have everything they need for punishment. That's why that plane is called the Punisher world. Just like when we call the hell world or the physical world.
Yes.
There's one is called the Punisher world. And that word is very strict. To the millimeter or nanometer. Nothing escapes them and they will tolerate nothing.
My gosh.
So don't ask me why 6 months.
Yes, Master.
It's normally 1 month with bargaining, exchanging, and negotiating.
Yes.
And I was even told that I should shut down Supreme Master Television and let the world think.
Oh my God.
Yeah, many things I cannot even tell you.
Yes,
Master.
But this I could because, well, there's nothing worse.
Yes, Master.
Whether I tell or not tell, it cannot be worse.
Understand.
I'm very sad and I don't feel peaceful these days. Even I don't meditate well. I have to stand up or do walking meditation. Small steps, inside or outside the room.
Yes, Master.
Yes.
So now you understand.
Yes.
Master.
I don't eat well, I don't sleep well. And all these leaders of the world still want to kill each other and kill humans to add more trouble. Like helping heaven to destroy the world, to destroy humans for their own position, for their own opinions, or for their own gain or fame.
Yes, Master.
And beyond sorrow.
It feels so hopeless.
Yeah. So when I was told that I should shut down Supreme Master Television altogether and let the world think, I said, no, not yet. Well, at least not this. I'm still fighting, hoping.
Thank you, Master.
I just hope I can.
We hope so.
In this time of our world, all the scientists already warned us of. I just read the news on the internet. They say scientists warn of devastating mass extinction event caused by climate change.
Wow.
They say that it's time for humans to prepare for extinction. Because climate change keeps hitting the world up.
Yes.
And now even the planet is spinning faster. Imagine if it's spinning out of control. Like there's no more force to hold it stably.
Yes.
And then it will be just like a spinning top.
Yes.
And there's no need to even make war. We will all die. Why don't they just come down and think of their future?
Yes.
They should concentrate more on heaven, on God, and pray for forgiveness, repenting, and stop killing animals, people, and humans. Stop even thinking about it. Then maybe God will bestow some leniency. That's what I am praying for.
Yes.
But I alone, what can I do, huh? And some group of you,
Yes.
my disciples and our group, is nothing compared to the whole world and the whole karma of the planet, of humans.
Understand.
The atrocity can never be compared to anywhere else except hell. So I hope all these leaders think of the priority, their own souls, their own liberation after they leave the world, or in case the world spins out of control. Because climate change keeps heating up the atmosphere.
Yes, Master.
And if it hits it more than expectation, then we are all doomed. Then we will have nothing.
Right.
No need to make war, man. My God, you should be thankful that you're still alive and the planet is still here and the world is still here. Not to talk about trying to destroy anything or killing anyone, including animal people.
Yes.
Must be vegan, make peace. That's all they have to do. And help each other. Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds. Meaning stop killing and eating animal people. Stop making war and help each other wherever needed.
Yes.
That's all they have to do. It's not difficult. God doesn't ask a lot from us. Does it?
No, it doesn't.
It's a very reasonable, very simple things, and it's for our own good even.
Yes.
God doesn't even ask, oh, you have to worship me, or fear me, or anything, or else. No. Just be vegan.
Yes.
To cool the planet, to restore the beneficial, peaceful energy, and stop making war, not hurting others the way you don't want to be hurt.
Yes.
And that's it, and help each other, whoever needs.
Yes.
That's all there is. It's all for the human benefit. Nothing for God there, is there?
No,
It's not.
Right now, God also cannot do much, doesn't want to, because the lamenting, the crying, the pain from all other creations, including humans and animal people, are really wrenching everyone's heart from heaven to earth.
Yes. Gosh.
And the Punisher world will not let anyone escape. That's their job. And this time, they're getting more power to do their job.
Wow.
They can just wipe the whole world out in a blink of an eye.
Gosh.
That's it.
Yes.
But it's still hanging on in there because the saints, the sages, and the practitioners are still praying for more leniency, more time. But I don't know how much more time will be given to us. How long, how much more leniency will be granted to humanity. I am praying.
Yes.
But I am not sure anymore. I can't say anything anymore. No vision in front of me right now, these days, that anything can be helped.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I just hope they all wake up and save themselves. Instead of killing others, they have to save themselves.
Yes.
Everyone died with nothing. That's what Alexander the Great message was for all humanity, for all warmongers in the world.
Yes.
I just hope they remember that. Pray whenever you have a little time, and whenever you seek your meditation also. Not just for vegan, but peace for Taiwan. Not just for Ukraine.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Master.
I'm just telling you to pray for peace. Okay, that's all.
Yes, Master.
Whatever happened, happened.
Yes.
God bless.
God bless, Master.
God protect.
With profound gratitude, we appreciate Benevolent Master's loving concern and wisdom on the rise of challenging events throughout the world, including those affecting the future of Taiwan or Formosa. We deeply pray that peace on the island will be sustained. May we always act in harmony with the divine laws, including non-violence against animal, people, and humans, thereby assuring many years ahead of freedom, kindness, and prosperity for our world. Wishing beloved Master serenity and the best of health, safeguarded by all heavenly protectors. This clip will be aired with more subtitles later today. To learn what else Supreme Master Ching Hai shared related to these topics, including relevant stories from her past, please tune in for the full broadcast of this conference on Between Master and Disciples at a later date. Also, for your reference, please check out the previous related fly-in news or Between Master and Disciples conferences, such as Fly-in News, Important Information from the Chief of COVID, Energy Radiating into Our Planet, Only Peacemakers Can Go to Heaven, In the Hour of Heaven's Judgment, Wake Up and Be Vegan Now, etc. To view these and more related fly-in news and Between Master and Disciples conferences, please visit suprememastertv.com and search for Pray for Peace.